What it do, Commanders fans? Man, what a game. This team can never make it easy, man. I swear, even against a 7-9 Dallas team, now 7-10, nothing to play for. They got their backup quarterback in, their third string quarterback in, and Trey Lance. We can just never make it easy, right? But at the end of the day, we still got the dub. 23-19, man, came down to the wire. Terry McLaurin in the clutch, man. Marcus Mariota starting for the entire second half. And I'll just go through the game right now, summary of it. It was very sloppy in the first half. I mean, the first half was terrible. The worst way you can start a game, like, period, right? Like, it basically reminded me of the first Dallas game. Literally, it was exactly that. We couldn't get anything going in the first half. Couldn't get the run game going. We couldn't get the run game going all game long. It was really Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota who had most of the yards. Marcus Mariota had 5 carries, 56 yards, and 1 touchdown. His longest carry for 33 yards, and that was on the 4th and 1. By the way, beautiful play call. That read option, Mariota tucked it and ran for it. Everybody basically bit for the run to the running back, and Mariota kept it. If that was Jaden, he's housing that. If that was Jaden's housing that. But, man, shout out Mariota, man. He clutched up. He stepped in big time. Could definitely tell that the Cowboys didn't really game plan for him, and obviously you're not going to do that, right? He didn't really expect Jaden to get pulled, and I didn't really either. Now, I said on Friday in my preview video that if we're blowing the Cowboys out by halftime, I want Jaden and the rest of the starters pulled, but we decided to pull Jaden, which, I'm not too mad at, because in the first half, Jaden got sacked 4 times. Michael Parsons had 2 sacks, and then other guys had sacks as well, right? So I'm not too mad at DQ for pulling Jaden because he's your guy. If he's out, you have no choice, or you have no chance to win the game, right? Or in the playoffs, right? Obviously, this game, if Jaden was out, we obviously still won with Mariota, right? But I'm talking about against better opponents, quality teams in the playoffs. If Jaden is out, then you're not going to win the game. You won't have a chance to win the game, right? So it was important to keep Jaden healthy, and I honestly do not hate the decision of DQ's part to pull Jaden and have him ready to go for our playoff game next week. We are officially locked in at the 6th seed, and we would have been locked in even if we lost today because the Packers lost to the Bears, which was a crazy game. Shout out to the Bears for being the Packers, but we won anyways, right? So that game didn't really matter. But, man, what a huge win to go to 12-5 for the first time since 1991 to lock up the 6th seed. And obviously it was very sluggish in the first half. Couldn't get any run game going. B-Rob only had 5 carries for 10 yards. Was very disappointed in him today. Was very disappointed in the run game as a whole today. I was a little disappointed in Austin Eckler's usage. Thought he would get a lot more usage. Only had 3 carries for 12 yards. That's 4 yards a carry, and he was pretty effective when we ran him on the ground, but we only gave him 3 carries, right? We didn't try to run the ball at all this game. Like, it was literally us just passing the game the entire game. Like, Cliff didn't even try it, man. On all the play fakes, play actions, like, we didn't even try to run the ball. We just threw the ball and went from there, right? We did not try to run the ball at all. We had 19 or 18 total carries as a team. That includes Jaden and Marcus Mariota. As a team, no running back got double-digit carries today, which is unbelievable. No running back got more than 5 carries today, right? So that's just insane to me. I would have liked if we ran it more, but we just weren't doing anything on the ground, right? Like, and maybe we would have if we ran it more. In the Packers game, Jordan Love got injured. Like, his throwing hand was completely done. Like, he couldn't move it at all. Malik Willis had to come in, and I was watching both games simultaneously because we were down. We scored a touchdown, and, bringing Marcus Mariota in the second half definitely gave our offense life, man, and we went up on our first drive. Shout out to, did we get a stop? I can't remember. I think we got a stop, and then obviously Marcus Mariota was in, and then we got a touchdown on that same drive. So, yeah, he definitely provided our offense a spark in the second half. And in the Packers game, like I said, Malik Willis had to come in for an injured Jordan Love, and that is really what lost him the game. That's what lost him the game. Now, the Bears did go up on him early. Pretty sure it was like 14-10, which was pretty impressive by the Bears. Pretty sure it was like 14-3 at some point, and the Bears were up. A lot of the teams that needed to win today, like the Packers, us, the Bucks, the Falcons, they had pretty they were uneasy in the first half. I'll say that. Like, the Packers were down like 14-3. The Bucks were down like 16 or 13-3 to the Saints. The Falcons were in a dogfight with the Panthers, and the Panthers ended up winning that game. So the Falcons finished the season 8-9, and the Bucks obviously won that division. And us, obviously, we were down 6-0 to the Cowboys. So it was bad across the league. It wasn't only us who were bad. Like, it was bad. But ultimately, us and the Bucks pulled through in the second half, got the dubs. The Packers couldn't. They got a fumble on DJ Moore. McManus hit a field goal, but the Bears still had enough time to go downfield, and they knocked the field goal down. And then the Falcons game with the Panthers went all the way to overtime, and the Panthers won that game. Bryce Young was tremendous today, by the way. He was incredible. But, yeah, it wasn't only us who had a sluggish performance overall on the day. But, going to our game, shout out to Marcus Mariota once again. He finished 15 for 18, 161 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. That sack he took was hilarious when he slipped on the turf. Like, that was so stupid. I was so goofy. Like, it was so weird. I'm not gonna lie. Receiving wise, Terry, man, it feels great to get him the receiving touchdown record. I was concerned that we weren't, because Terry, he wasn't having a great day. Like, he dropped, I want to say like 2 or 3 balls today. He dropped 2 that Jaden threw to him, and then one of them, it was a little bit off target from Jaden. Like, Terry had to extend one arm to try and grab it, and he just couldn't do that. But he had 2 drops from passes from Jaden, and he had 1 from Marcus Mariota. So overall, pretty sure he had like 3 drops on the day. So Terry wasn't great overall. However, when it mattered the most, he came through. He made some clutch catches, including the record or franchise record-breaking touchdown at the end of the game to win us the game. Man, Cliff was so hype after that, man. He was so hype. And shout out to Cliff, backup quarterback coming in, and he called up a really good game, especially in the second half, I feel like, with Marcus Mariota in the game. And yeah, man, I love the way Marcus Mariota played in the second half. Like, I was shocked. He looked like Oregon Marcus Mariota. Like, I'm like, wow, he is really balling out, man. He really was, though. He really was. Rest of the receivers, Olamide Zaccheaus, he really sold, man. Now, he did have that one deep ball from Marcus Mariota. Really good catch by him. But, man, Cliff called up a perfect trick play to Olamide Zaccheaus. It was a pass from De'Ami Brown. De'Ami put that thing on the dime. Also, I did not know De'Ami was left-handed, but, that's a new thing I found out during the game. But De'Ami put that thing on a dime to OZ, and he dropped it. And that touchdown would have gave us life on offense in the first half. And, it sucks that he dropped it. And OZ had like 2 or 3 more drops today. So he was not great today, but he did have a really nice deep ball down the sideline catch from Marcus Mariota, which was a really good throw by Marcus Mariota as well. Ertz had the touchdown. That was our first touchdown of the game. That really sparked some life for our offense. He finished the day overall with 5 catches, 44 yards, and obviously the touchdown. And Eckler also had 2 catches for 20 yards. It was good to have him back. And then De'Ami, I feel like he was pretty good in the screen game. The O-line, man, O-line was getting killed in the first half. They were better in the second half, but, man, in the first half, man, Michael Dieter is absolutely awful. On the first drive of the game, Micah Parsons had 2 sacks, 1 on Brandon Coleman. Man, Brandon Coleman, we got to get a legit left tackle. Look, I like Coleman, but he's just not a tackle in this league. And, it sucks, right? He's just not a tackle in this league, but it is what it is, right? We got to get a true left tackle, a true starting caliber left tackle, because I just don't think Brandon Coleman is that. Michael Dieter is awful. He got killed by Micah Parsons. Jaden had no time, and he got sacked. There was also this one sack where Jaden could have thrown the ball away, but he just decided to run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage, which is weird. I don't know why he did that, but, he should have thrown the ball away, but is what it is there, right? We were going to punt there anyways. So, O-line, they weren't good in the first half, I feel like, but they were better in the second half with Marcus Mariota back there. They gave him some more time back there to look around, downfield, throw the ball. So they did a better job in the second half, but they have to be better overall. Defense, shout out to the defense, because they did give us stops at times, but we're lucky we had Trey Lance at quarterback for the Cowboys, man. Like, Trey Lance is awful, man. He's awful. He had Rico Dowdle wide open in the end zone, and he threw it short of him. Like, Trey Lance he's really bad, man. Like, he's really, really bad. He had open receivers at times during the game as well, and he overthrew them or underthrew them. Like, Kevontae Turpin was running wide open down the right sideline, and Trey Lance completely like underthrew him. Like Trey Lance, he's not good, and he definitely bailed us out sometimes. But you know, like we're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not like, oh well, right? Like, oh well. We still got the dub. At the end of the day, that's all that mattered. And he definitely bailed us out. Once again, he did. However, or at times he did. However, he was bad today, and at times our defense did get stops, and our offense couldn't capitalize on those opportunities, right? In the first half, whenever the defense got stops, gave the ball right back to the offense couldn't do anything with the ball, right? We had like multiple 3-and-outs. We only had 65 total yards in the first half. Like, in the first half, our offense was completely anemic. They didn't do anything, right? So, you know, it was bad in the first half. It definitely felt like the first Dallas game, and I thought it would be a second version of the first Dallas game, right? But, you know, we got the dub this time, so that's all that matters. Mikey Sanders still thought he had a really good day. He had a couple of really nice pass breakups. He had like 2 on Brandon Cooks and I think 1 on Jalen Tolbert, so he had a really nice day in my opinion. Frankie Louvu, man, glad he's okay from that shoulder injury. He had a TFL. I thought he had another one as well, but he had one. He was really good at tackling today. He was in the backfield a couple times today. Really disappointing in the pass rush, man. Like, we just don't have that elite guy on our D-line, man. Deron Payne, John Allen, Johnny Newton, they just weren't getting home today. And that's just been how it is all season long, really. Like, so it sucks. Like, our pass rush just wasn't good today at all. And we couldn't get any pressure on Cooper Rush the first game against Dallas, and we couldn't get any pressure today versus Trey Lance. So, you know, our pass rush just wasn't overall good today. Bobby Wagner, he was really good today. He had 2 TFLs. He had a run stuff in the red zone on the goal line in the second half, which was really nice. But the Cowboys ended up scoring there anyways. But it was a really nice TFL by Bobby Wagner, right? Really nice run stuff. So I thought Wagner was pretty good today. Benjamin St-Juste, man. I'm so tired of him, man. I'm really tired of St-Juste. I'm not gonna lie. But he was called for 2 pass interferences. Actually, he was called for 1 PI and 1 holding. Benjamin St-Juste is awful. Like, he's terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. That is really all I have to talk about today. What did Rico Dowdle do today? Because at times I feel like he had really good carries. He had 22 carries, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. So he definitely had some big carries here and there, some really good pickups here and there. Deuce Font also had a pretty good day on us, I'm not going to lie. He had some nice carries in the second half, including a long of 12 yards. So got to do a better job stopping the run. But overall, Rico Dowdle on the day finished with 3.3 yards of carry. So that's not terrible right there. So, you know, it feels good to get the dub. Feels good to go 12-5, avoid Philly in the first round. We'll see who we play in the first round. The Rams game is going on right now. Let me check the score of that game. Obviously, the Bucs won. The Rams are down 7-0 to the Seahawks. So, yeah, it's looking like we're probably going to play the Bucs in the first round, right? So, I just don't see a way the Rams beat the Seahawks with them resting their starters. So, we had a lot of mistakes in this game as well. The muff punt by Jameson Crowder, and that's not his fault. Luke McCaffrey bumped into him, and the ball hit off of Luke, or I think it hit off of Jameson, actually. But, you know, you maybe would like to see him move out the way, but that wasn't his fault, right? And then also John Bates, he dropped that pass from Marcus Mariota. It was a dime by Marcus, but John Bates, he can't catch, man. John Bates, he sucks at catching, right? He fumbled the ball versus Dallas in the first game, so, you know, is what it is right there. But, yeah, we cannot, you know, have those mistakes. We cannot have all of the missed opportunities we had in this game in the playoffs, right? Because if we do, hey, man, in the playoffs, there's only good teams, right? So if we have all these mistakes and missed opportunities, then it could be a long game for us in the playoffs, right? So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. 12-5, you know, 6th seed. Wasn't the prettiest, but a dub is a dub. So celebrate this. Going to the wild card round next week. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.